cleric things. You know, you can have your character just go to church and pray and, you know, collect alms for the poor and all that. That's perfectly fine. That is a normal thing for a character to do. Things that are not normal for a character to do, you know, just completely murder everything they encounter. You know, like straight up murder hobo style. Okay, where am I? I phased through Bedrock. I almost fell into the void. Jesus Christ, Mojang. I phased into Bedrock and started suffocating. See, this is why I'm adding in flooring. Okay, you want to get through the roof of the Nether? Just grab a shovel and some gravel. You'll break physics. I'm not sure how accurate that that statement actually is, but that's what it feels like. Because that's basically what just happened. I phased into Bedrock. Like, I knew there was a danger. I just didn't think it would be a danger with blocks that weren't gravel. Figured that would only happen with the gravel blocks, you know? If you want to use this video in the Minecraft bug report about being able to phase through reality by mining out gravel with a efficiency 4 shovel, then feel free to submit the bug report with a link to my video. You know, Creative Commons and all that, attributations and whatnot. I actually need to look into what all I need for a Creative Commons license, because I want to do Creative Commons on my videos instead of just the standard YouTube license. Currently I have it set to standard YouTube license. However, I'm decently sure I can actually make use of the Creative Commons license, because I am, you know, properly attributing the video of Minecraft with every video. Oh, my Silk Touch pickaxe is almost broken. I shall take out this slime, and then I shall go all the way over here to A, heal up, and B, return to base. As if I'm not mistaken, that's my base. I'd be able to check a lot sooner, but I have yet to install the staircase every 50 blocks. Yep, here we are. Okay, first up I want to deposit dirt. Second up, I want to deposit any excess of cobblestone. Third, I need to deposit gravel. Gravel goes in the next one. Yeah. Here's the gravel. Let's see. Regular stone is processing. Let me fill up the barrel, fill up the hopper. I kind of need more material, or more furnaces. this is not processing the material fast enough for my needs. I am in need of something a wee bit faster. Let's see. I also need to deposit that. Need to craft those. I will leave one set of diorite, as well as a few extra bits of granite. There we go. Now I can deposit the slime. I was here for pickaxe. Okay. 17 levels. See, this thing quickly gets very unreasonably priced. Yeah. I recognize the sound effect, therefore I don't even need to ask. I already know he's okay. That was a 2-liter falling out of the fridge. Yeah. Regular attendance is expected with my campaign. I want people to, actively roleplay their characters. You don't have to actively roleplay your character between sessions. However, when we play, it is expected that you're in character, some of the material which I use in game is theater of the mind. A decent portion has maps, not much, however. For example, I don't have maps for every shop, for example. I don't think I have maps for any of the shops except for the tavern, really. Which is kind of par for the course for what I've seen from various other Dungeons and Dragons games. They don't exactly always have some form of map for every location. It's just me making all of the maps, therefore, don't expect too much high-end quality. It's just one person making everything. I've been working on Minecraft a lot, mostly, because between YouTube and Minecraft and the very, very long recording hours, there's not too much I can do on other things. I could spend my time looking into various Minecraft mods. However, the majority of modded Minecraft is not that interesting on Bedrock Edition. For starters, you don't get achievements when you're in modded Minecraft. Therefore, I would be spending my time for the sake of gathering viewers for something which would provide no achievements to my profile. That also means that I wouldn't get, for example, various costume unlocks for my character, even though you rarely get to see my character because, you know, between the armor and between me not using the paper doll feature, I do not really have much of my character actually on display here. I understand that can be a little bit of a confusing point when I start sneaking, for example, because the only difference is that little bit of height difference, as well as walking speed. If you're curious about, various rules that I might not have mentioned for my D&D campaign, you are free to leave a comment and ask about them. If you want an invite to join the campaign, you can leave a comment in the comment section of my video, and then I will be able to easily track down your comment and respond to you. I will be able to leave you a one-time use invite link to my Discord that will allow you to join the campaign. We can discuss your character, set up your character sheet. You know, I'm very helpful when it comes to that sort of thing. It's just a matter of having the time available to do that sort of thing. Now, where did that go? That shouldn't have been air. Huh. Well, whatever. I would, of course, ask that you try to not make a character that is overly toxic. We don't like toxic people in our campaigns for obvious reasons. They're toxic. Toxic people have a tendency to not stick around very long, because I have a tendency to just cause them all to rage quit. And it's like, well, maybe if you weren't so insanely toxic, you wouldn't be rage quitting. You know, sort of like that guy who had no idea what relentless endurance was. You know, it's like, bro, you gotta read these books, because, there's a reason it's called the Player's Handbook. It's because it's a handbook, man. It's a book that is so handy that it probably will never leave your hand. Fortunately, I haven't had any players that, never read the entirety of the handbook. I have plenty of players who didn't understand the entirety of the handbook, the PHB. But that's different. They actually tried to read it, and they just failed. That's entirely different from not reading it. Because the difference is, with one, you're actually applying effort. You're trying to, put in the effort to understand the material. And that's a good thing. Failing to understand the material, not a good thing, but at least you tried to understand the material. This brings us back to the point of it's better to ask permission than it is to ask forgiveness. If you just unilaterally decide, hey, my character gets all of these amazing overpowered feats, and they get all of these amazing overpowered spells, it's like, great. Now we get to find out if the GM approves it. And they're just like, wait, what? It's like, yeah. Did you not know that the majority of D&D requires approval by the person running the campaign? I know. Amazing, right? Some people don't realize that. It's like, yeah, how do you think everything stays so balanced? How do you think all of the enemies stay scaled roughly to our difficulty? Even when we are vastly outpowered, when we're vastly outnumbered, and, our strength is, by comparison, nothing. Our strength is so insignificant that they don't even need to worry about us. What do you think keeps everything in balance? The GM. The GM has to sit there and figure out, okay, why is this group of enemies here? Why are these enemies attacking and these enemies aren't? What are these enemies attacking? What kind of foe do these enemies go after? That's the GM's job. The GM figures all that stuff out. The players have the job of not dying. A very simple job that is made very complicated by a lot of very mean, bad things. Similar to when trying to navigate an armada of slimes to figure out which ones to hit with a sword and which ones to hit with a fist. Yeah, you could just go through and punch them all to death with your fist. That's an option. Not a very good option, because you're going to find yourself standing there for a long period of time. But it's an option, Right, I have those torches. Okay. In that case, I can go with depositing various resources in their various locations
gravel is full, which means I need to find somewhere else to put all my gravel. I also need to find somewhere else to put all my smooth stone, because I'm running out of spaces to shove it into. Let's see. We've got that. We've got that. And we've got these. Okay. I will deposit those into there. Then I will deposit smooth stone down here. Yeah. There is small amounts of homebrew allowed in my campaign. However, nothing game breaking. Mostly it is quality of life improvements. Things such as, maybe a very well balanced spell, or a very well balanced class. One that scales all the way up to 80. Which means if you, for example, get an ability that scales based on your proficiency bonus, you can expect that that's possibly going to get a nerf, because at level 80, you have a proficiency bonus of 21. Therefore, if casting it 21 times in a single long rest is going to cause issues, then yes, I will probably rebalance the spell myself, if I even allow the thing, or the ability, or whatever it is. It will probably get a rebalance in order to prevent it from being game breaking much later on. No, I do not allow for multi-classing into different archetypes of the same class. A good comparison of why not is Path of the Zealot Barbarian mixed with Totem Barbarian, or perhaps an Evocation Wizard mixed with a Divination Wizard. The implications of just how overpowered everything gets is quite drastic. There is a lot of stuff that can go wrong when you multi-class, 2 barbarians of the same type, or 2 rogues of the same type, or 2 rangers of the same type. A lot of things can go wrong. And when a lot of things go wrong with that kind of situation, you quickly find things start spiraling out of control really quickly. You find yourself wanting more time to think. You find yourself wanting more time to figure out, what are you going to do to fix this? You find yourself wanting to do a lot of things that will not benefit really anyone in the party. Oops. That was supposed to be mined out with Soak Touch. My bad. Okay. I need to dig out up to here. And then it looks like I need to dig this way. Yeah. Except not specifically in this spot. Right here. That platform taken care of. Now I need to go to the next platform. Well, that was a surprise. Ah, right. There we go. And there we go. And I dig out this one, giving myself just a little bit more headroom. Okay. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted to have this climb up here. If you're wondering why I'm so strict about my D&D game, I have had a lot of bad players, a lot of negative people who didn't want to play fair, didn't want to play by the rules, stuff like that. Therefore, I have found that it really helps if I just go ahead and lay out the ground rules up front. If they got a problem with it, they can take it up with me afterwards. But, it's the ground rules. That's the rules. If they don't like them, well, that would be why I tell them up front, is because if they don't like them, then they can choose whether or not they want to actually stay. If they don't want to stay, well, then they don't have to. But, if they do, they know the rules. The starting time frame in the starting tech level in my D&D campaign is set to have the players spawn with the basic knowledge of medieval weaponry. The medieval fighting styles and all that, those are fine. It's the the more advanced weaponry that the players would not be familiar with. Therefore, players would not be familiar with the characters would not be familiar with, for example, a machine gun, or power armor, or television. It's medieval start. It is a high magic campaign. Let's see. How can I get up here? It's high magic, meaning you can expect to find magic items. You can expect to find various types of enchantments and all of the standard fun things that you find in Dungeons and Dragons. But every now and then you will also get a chance to experience a more advanced weapon. My campaign is set in the year 9001 on Earth. However, because it's the year 9001, everything is pretty much unrecognizable. There's been multiple cataclysmic level events in my campaign that have historically just entirely wiped out the majority of the more advanced knowledge of how everything functions. There's been a few portals that were opened that, were possibly not exactly in the best interests of humanity to open said portals. However, the portals were opened anyways, and then the contents therein got unleashed accordingly, causing much pain, much suffering, blah, blah, blah. The standard post-apocalyptic speech, as it were. The specific details of what happened involves mostly civilization building itself up and then something coming along and wiping it out. civilization builds itself back up again, and then something wipes it out again because, maybe they open a portal to the, to the dimension of Avernus, and they're like, oh, great, we have this dimension where we can siphon all the heat. Let's open it up. And they open it nice and wide, and a bunch of demons fly out and wipe out humanity. And, humanity toils for a while, and eventually humans reemerge from everything that happened. And they're like, okay, well, we got to be careful of all of these devils that we unleashed. We make a note of all of the different varieties and how they affect us and what they do. And humans go through and catalog everything as they do, and things start going well again. And then next thing they know, they open a portal because maybe the elves opened the portal this time, and the elves ended up showing up, and they weren't supposed to, but now they're here, and they're causing all kinds of problems because they showed up in the middle of basically a war amongst each other. And it's like, well, great. Now what am I going to do? Now I got to deal with all of these elves fighting each other while I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm doing about just trying to not die, So the humans had to deal with that. And then there was, the first contact with gnomes and the first contact with dwarves and all of these other events that each requires some form of handling of the situation, which was likely not performed, or at least not performed very well, causing lots of conflict, causing lots of confusion, lots of errors amongst communication. The communication towers, for like cell phones and stuff, for example, have long since been wiped out. People forgot entirely how to even use those. Like, cell phones are not a thing in my game. Now, that being said, you could theoretically locate a cell phone. You could theoretically rebuild a cell tower. You could technically get all of this stuff going, but your character has no concept as to how any of this stuff functions. At least not yet. They can learn, but if they really want to learn that stuff, they're going to have to go out into the field, they're going to have to study it, they're going to have to actually invest a lot of time and effort trying to figure all of this stuff out, because this is the type of stuff that a character would need to figure out. This is exactly the type of thing characters would need to figure out. And if a character was dedicated to figuring this type of stuff out, then yes, eventually they would get the ability to, have a functioning cell phone. But it won't be something that is easy to accomplish, something that's easy to achieve. Why am I in stone? Seriously, that's happened twice now. I was just mining a little bit of gravel. Next thing I know, I'm embedded in stone. Yeah, that knockback is really powerful. If you were wanting to have a character that specialized in, what they would consider ancient technologies, then you would want your character to study ruins, for example, because that would allow your character to have some inclination as to just what is involved in the study of various things related to basically everything that is going on with the character. It's the year 9001. Nobody knows what a cell phone or a cell tower is. Nobody has computers, at least locally. That's another thing worth noting is there are 50 different islands in my campaign setting. And yet the players have only ever actually visited a single island so far. The islands are very large. There are ways to speed up travel. For example, if you get a nat 20, then you can move 2 tiles without any form of encounter being rolled. Oh, I did not realize I was leaving that much stone behind me. Okay, well, looks like I'm placing a lot of these blocks. Okay, let me go all the way over here to start placing them. Yeah. The majority of the technological advancements of the inhabitants of my campaign world are mostly made from advancements involving Magitech, type situations where the hold on, do I have full stack of andesite? I don't think I do. Let me see. I've got cobblestone though. Does this thing need any cobblestone? No, I have not been burning the cobblestone up. I suppose I can deposit the cobblestone, as well as the dirt. I don't really have anywhere for the gravel, unfortunately. And the stone is not burning anywhere near fast enough. Okay, let us retrieve this and this. Now I can go over here, and in addition to picking up all of this material, I'm able to additionally start placing in more of this material up top. The reason I'm placing in this specific section of smooth stone is because that is essentially the attic above my base. Therefore, I want to make sure that that place specifically is nice and filled in for flooring for when I inevitably excavate out this way. I plan to rework the rail system to have stops every 50 blocks, and then I'll have a different rail system right next to it. Probably this one will probably stop every 50. This one will probably stop every 200, I want to say. That way it is always only roughly 100 blocks, no matter what happens, to my nearest entry point for my base. Yeah, I'm going to want to convert some of these. Let me gather up this stuff, as well as this stuff, actually. And if I have any, yes, I do. Okay, now I can finish converting these. I can finish converting these. Oh, I don't have space for it. Put that there, stack those up. Now I can convert these, as well as these. Boop, boop, boop. Store that. Then store that. I'll actually go ahead and store these in here as well, just so it's easy to find all of the different raw materials amongst the items in my inventory. I get a lot of grays in my inventory, therefore it's difficult to differentiate. Now, I want to actually grab another stack and a quarter, it seems. 4 spaces, yep, okay. I have a lot more smooth stone on hand in order to fill in this area. This will allow me to make use of the area up here as a bit of a resource sink, as it were. I can just deposit a bunch of resources into this project without really needing to worry too much about what I'm doing, because all of the resources that I'm recovering are probably going to end up reprocessed and used in other projects, if not the same project. I don't really need to worry about any ores that I find, because if I find an ore, then I can very easily just expand in that direction, since I am expanding another 2 blocks to the south before I just start expanding drastically to the north. The 2 blocks to the south will be used in the railway line that will be allowing me to travel hundreds of blocks per minecart stop, basically. This slime is very interested in me, and they will never really truly be able to catch me, because I can do this faster than they can hop. Every now and then I encounter a situation like this, where I have to dig out my way back to this area. No, dig. There we go. I didn't drop that, did I? I did. Darn. I shall have to pick that up, which means I probably will end up going down here, absolutely destroying this guy in combat, and then retrieving the singular item that I returned down here for. Additionally, I need more smooth stone. As you can see, this is quite the extensive resource sink. As I am capable of very easily sinking, 5 stacks of smooth stone into just a standard two tall line of wall. Got ourselves an autosave going, so there's a bit of lag. I don't mind, however, because it just means that I'm getting my world saved. Okay. Now I grab my Soak Touch pickaxe and I start going to town on this wall again. Except this time, 2 lower than last time. This will allow me to make my way over and start processing even more of this ore and more of this material, as I just dig it all out and then replace it with smooth stone. And that allows me to very succinctly, quickly, and easily gather all of the materials that I need
I am aware that I don't spend too much time down here, because I also have to go up top and excavate a bunch of mountains. But at the same time, I do spend enough time down here that it is worthwhile for me to actually invest the materials to build this place up and make it look nice, because I will be spending more than enough time down here. It's just a matter of, you know, do I have enough of the appropriate materials in order to make it worth my while